The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, in 2015, the Premier eliminated the district health authorities on a promise of improved efficiencies and care. And what we got instead was a $2 billion organization that meets behind closed doors. Now we're being presented with the same pitch relative to the elimination of local voices in all of our school boards. So I want to ask the Premier, why should the public believe that the hyper-centralist approach that's been so disastrous in health care is going now to be anything other than disastrous in education?
The Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honourable Member for the question, Mr. Speaker. If the member would actually read the Glaze report, Mr. Speaker, this is focused on site-based activity, Mr. Speaker. Administrators in schools have been looking for more independence, Mr. Speaker. This is a positive sign. Give them a chance, Mr. Speaker, to be the educational leaders they are in their particular schools, Mr. Speaker. They're a direct reporting line directly to the minister. This is a positive sign, increasing the SACs. Give communities a stronger voice in those school communities, Mr. Speaker. We're looking forward to continuing to empower communities and school communities to continue to be all they can be.
The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, at the February 21st meeting of the Halifax Regional School Board, Archie Beals, HRSB African-Nova Scotia representative, spoke of the proposed abolition of school boards, and he said this: "We were the last one at the table, and now they're taking away the table." So I ask the Premier, is he actually going to take away the school board system that guarantees guaranteed African-Nova Scotia representation in our province?
Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, African-Nova Scotians will continue to have guaranteed representation, Mr. Speaker, on the board across this province. They'll continue to have a voice in school communities across this province, Mr. Speaker. I want to ensure that honourable member and all members of this House that minority rights will be protected under this government. We'll continue to make sure that they have a strong government that represents them, Mr. Speaker, not only in the education system, but in the justice system and every other system that this government is part of.
The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party on his final supplementary.
The question was about the guaranteed African-Nova Scotia seats on the school boards, Mr. Speaker. And further to that point, dismay has also been expressed across the province that in abolishing school boards, the government is going to be eliminating the one level of democracy where in our province we have a majority of women. Mr. Speaker, does the Premier really want to be the man who ended the one level of electoral democracy we have in our province where women are adequately represented?
The Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honourable Member, Mr. Speaker. The Premier that has the most women ever elected under, Mr. Speaker. I want to tell the Honourable Member I appointed more women to the Executive Council than any other Premier in the history of this province. I want to remind the Honourable Member when he had an opportunity to appoint women to the bench, their government ignored it. I want to tell them we just announced gender parity, Mr. Speaker. When you look at our appointments, they were predominantly female, Mr. Speaker. And I challenge the Honourable Member to look at the deputy ministers across this province. Female representation is above 50%. I will put my record on the line against anyone in this House when it comes to ensuring that our daughters and mothers are represented here.